It's Tuesday, June 25th. You're listening to Your Florida Daily. I'm Katrina Scales. 2 new laws are in the books in Florida designed to provide protections for the Jewish community. Governor DeSantis signed the bills last night. One officially defines anti-Semitism in the state and received unanimous support in a typically divided legislature. The other newly signed law clears the way for lawmakers to add security funding for Jewish schools into the state budget. Both bills are tied to the staggering rise in anti-Semitic incidents since the October 7th attack on Israel by Hamas terrorists. Just last week, more than 50 bomb threats were sent to Florida synagogues. Here's State Representative Randy Fine of Brevard County.
The fact of the matter is, every child deserves to be safe at school. That's included with the price of admission for being a Floridian. And I hate that I have to run this bill.
Another bill signed by the governor outlaws intentional balloon releases in the state. It classifies the intentional release of all balloons inflated with a gas lighter than air as littering. This is often done at memorials and parties. The new laws go into effect July 1st. The city of Orlando is one step closer to adding speed cameras to school zones. Orlando Council members gave the initial vote of approval during a meeting yesterday. If the proposed ordinance is passed next month, Orlando would be the 3rd city in Central Florida to use photo radar, which would automatically mail out as much as $100 tickets to speeders who do 10 miles or more over the limit. Commissioners say the cameras would help reduce injuries and deaths by as much as 37%. If the measure gets final approval, city leaders hope to have the cameras installed by the end of the year. The final vote on the ordinance is set for next month. And the National Hockey League has brand new champions, and they're from right here in Florida.
The Florida Panthers have won the Stanley Cup!
It was a wild celebration last night as the Florida Panthers took home their first Stanley Cup in franchise history. The team actually had a 3-0 lead over the Oilers before Edmonton came back to tie the series. But Florida would pull it off last night in Game 7 with a 2-1 win. Plans are already in the works for a celebration parade in Miami this weekend. Find these top stories along with breaking news, weather, and traffic all day on clickorlando.com. And now a not-so-random Florida fact. In the spirit of the Panthers' Stanley Cup win, here's a fun fact. In the 1995-1996 season, a very unusual goal celebration developed in Miami. On the night of the Panthers' home opener, a rat scurried across the team's locker room. Scott Mellenby reacted by one-timing the rat against the wall, killing it. That night, he scored 2 goals, which his teammate quipped was a rat trick. 2 nights later, as the story found its way to the world, a few fans threw rubber rats onto the ice in celebration of a goal. The rubber rat count went from 16 for the 3rd home game to over 2,000 during the playoffs, and thus the rat trick was born. The NHL, though, put a quick end to that with new rules the following season. Your Florida Daily is produced by News 6 WKMG in Orlando. I'm Katrina Scales. Subscribe for new episodes wherever you like to listen.